to another episode from the CNI Energy and Storage Summit, the Zambia edition. In this series of interviews, we have conversations with our advisory board members. And today I am speaking with one of the most respected energy experts in Zambia, Dr. Johnstone Chikwanda. Doc, thanks so much for making the time to have this conversation with me. To start off, please introduce yourself. And as I know that I didn't do much justice to your profile, and also just tell us why you've agreed to be a part of this summit.
Thank you very much, Babalwa. It's a great honor to be part of this upcoming event. My name is Johnstone Chikwanda. I am a consultant in the energy sector in Zambia with over 20 years of experience, both in Zambia and in South Africa as well. Specializing in regulatory frameworks and are contributing to the shaping of the energy sector, how it should be moving. I do a lot of contribution to policy analysis, to policy updates. I do a lot of advocacy in terms of how we should be moving on SDG goal number 7, which is the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal number 7 on universal access to clean, affordable, and sustainable energy for all by the year 2030. I focus on that in a considerable way. Also, I am a special advisor, or otherwise known as a global ambassador on energy and climate change for the Forum of Africa Traditional Authorities. The traditional authorities at continental level have got a forum wherefore they want to participate in the economic development and emancipation of the continent, and to execute their mandate. They have got specialized experts who anchor them, who scaffold how they must be navigating their engagements, and I anchor the energy and climate portfolio for them. In a nutshell, that is who I am. And I'm also a conference speaker, and I've been to many international conferences, both at home and outside the country and beyond the continent as well.
No, brilliant. Thank you so much, Doc. As I did say that, I knew that I didn't do much justice to your profile. So it's good to hear from you. And we do appreciate the lot of work that you have done in the energy sector, both in South Africa and in Zambia. And if you could also just expand on why you have agreed to be a part of this summit.
Yeah, thank you very much for that question. I have been to many conferences, both at home and the overseas, and also in the region. And I have noticed that their arrangement is not the way this particular conference is seeking to arrange the program. If I may come round the other way, this particular conference, which is coming up, the C&I, the program, the way it has been configured, is in a manner, in a fashion that I've never seen before. It is more practical, pushing practical solutions, and also advancing storage, energy storage, where most of the conference that we have had have very contributed or showcased the energy storage perspective. So I decided to participate and see if I could contribute to the hosting of this, because of the uniqueness of the program. What it is offering is extremely unique. The setup, the engagement, the round tables, and it is in a manner that we have not seen before, at least where I have been. And it is bringing people that matter when it comes to base, meaning, battery energy storage solutions, and people that would want to use them, and the policymakers, and also companies that are, that are already existing in in this sector, and the case studies of how those that deployed this kind of solutions got helped, and how they navigated the space, and they'll be there also to share how other people can learn and learn from them, and also benefit in a manner that they benefited those who went first.
Thank you so much, Doc. And we are very glad that you appreciate the manner in which we would like to deliver this summit. And we are very grateful to the support that you have given to us over the time we're developing the program. And now as we are getting closer to delivery mode. So we truly appreciate that you see
Mhm.
that this is unique, what we're trying to bring,
Mhm.
a platform that is solutions driven, as you said.
Thank you.
So just now looking into the energy market in Zambia, what would you say is the biggest challenge facing the energy sector in Zambia right now, and what quick gains should we be focusing on?
Yeah, at the moment, the country, Zambia, is going through excruciating energy poverty, never seen, in living memory, triggered by the loss of water, the way the water got depleted in our reservoirs, where we are drawing much of the water, where we harvest the water for our hydro applications. As you may know, Zambia is predominantly rooted in hydro generation, which stand at more than 80%. So when climate change comes to say, look, I warned you before and you didn't do much, I'm not going to support you, and we fall on our faces because we are not able to have enough electricity that we want to run the industry. So our biggest challenge at the moment is availability of energy as and when we need it. We didn't diversify the our energy generation mix uh, for a long, long time, and therefore to attend to this particular matter, to try and resolve in terms of what could be the quick uh, pathway to solving the challenge, is essentially to open the space to ensure that we have considerable other forms of energy onboarded in our generation portfolio, to the extent that even if we had poor rainfall pattern, we still are going to ensure that we have enough electricity to run the country. So the quick solutions are found in deployment, how quick we are able to deploy other forms of energy, such as the development of the sunshine economy, vis-a-vis solar energy, and other quick, thermal, perhaps as well, to add on to it. That's any other form of energy that is readily available, well tested, already on the market, which can be deployed, including energy efficiency solutions as well. They are going to help a lot.
I appreciate that. You recognize that there is more that can be done. And you also mentioned that the market needs to be open. So, this takes me to my next question, which is what policy change has the potential to have the biggest impact on the sector?
Yeah, you know, Zambia, where we are sitting, we are really an inland country, land linked, surrounded by many countries. And what policy initiatives are needed to scaffold how we are going to navigate the energy trilemma must talk to improving the logistics, must talk to the costs being driven down, And that means waiving all the taxes and duties in a significant way on all these renewable energy products. And
mm,
by and large, also generation equipment as well and transmission equipment, because it's not just about expanding generation, it is also how you transmit it and you evacuate the power. And
mm,
I see that the government has waived in a significant way a lot of taxes and a lot of duties as well on these products, and
mm,
hoping that the private sector would respond by passing over those benefits to the people. So what we want to see is close monitoring of the mechanism, because waiving of the duties and the taxes is a form of indirect taxes. So if
mm,
the private sector is not passing over those benefits, it means that the subsidy is being hijacked in the supply chain. So we
mm,
want to see a considered effort of a mechanism that monitors to ensure that the prices are going down,
mm,
because government responded by waiving taxes more than 30% of
mm,
combined taxes. These products have been waived. So we want to see ensuring that these products come down. The other policy measure over and above what has already been done is to try and attract manufacturing of the solar panels inland in the country. This is because to succeed in this energy transition journey, we are going to need millions and millions of solar panels. Just the presidential target, which was given to ensure that we onboard 1,000 megawatts by the end of this year of solar, that means we are going to need not less than 2 million solar panels. Now, these panels are coming from overseas, they are coming from China and elsewhere. It's very challenging to transport them because the bulkness is incredibly high. So the
mm,
logistical nightmare involved, which accompany the shipping and transportation of such a massive load, is a lot that can, challenge the pace at which we would want to deepen our energy transition. So we want to see onboarding to be manufacturing these solar panels in Zambia, the capital city of the Comesa market. Very, very important. And also a deliberate effort as well to build the skills that are
mm,
needed for energy transition. We
mm,
just don't have this kind of skill sets and technology. It is in critical shortage. So if
mm,
we are to succeed, we need to ensure that we develop a lot of young people with low level technical skills that are essential to the success of the energy transition. And
mm,
also changing of the mindset for the people is also very, very important as well. The mindset transformation for people to embrace the energy transition and to appreciate it in a manner that is going to assist how we are going to navigate successfully on this journey.
mm, mm. No, it's good to hear that there are pathways, or there are those shifts that are being already deployed in terms of that policy shift you talk about. So it's encouraging to hear that, Doc. And now my next question for you is, what keeps you motivated in believing that your work has relevance?
Yeah, there is a saying that you don't beat your own drum, and but we live in a space where sometimes it becomes necessary to blow your own trumpet. But really, first and foremost, I am extremely passionate about this industry. I'm very, very
Mm,
passionate, and that keeps me going. It is the passion. I am fully convinced that energy is a lifeblood of the economy.
Mm,
It is
mm,
essentially impossible to organize a modern economy without energy. I'm also, convinced that of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, which were promulgated by the United Nations and adopted by member states, when you
mm,
look at those 17 SDGs, about 8 of them, they depend on energy. If you
mm,
don't succeed on SDG goal number 7, which talks to energy, you are not going to deliver on the SDG, which calls for enhanced healthcare delivery service. You cannot deliver quality healthcare service without energy. You are not
mm,
going to succeed on the SDG, which talks about sanitation. You are not going to succeed on the SDG, which talks about poverty reduction. You are not going to succeed on the SDG, which talks about quality education delivery, so on and so forth. So a number of SDGs are influenced by the SDG on energy. And so,
mm.
if we want to see meaningful development, meaningful progress, we have to do well on SDG goal number 7, which talks to energy. And this is where I come in myself to ensure that the policy frameworks are talking in a manner that will help us to make good progress, funding, advertising, investing in the rural areas where we have terrible, poor access to energy, and also to ensure that we are able to interconnect with the neighboring countries. And so anybody who loves development certainly must be taking interest in the energy mandate. Otherwise, you may as well stay away from development.
I like that you touch on a lot on the SDG goals, and especially the SDG goal number 7, which is energy access for all. And this is
Mhm.
sustainable energy for all, by the way. And now this takes me to maybe a moment where you would say you first, when you first appreciated a difference energy access can make. And if you could describe that moment for us.
Well, first and foremost, I think there are many moments, but I just want to take one of them. In this country, I think we are coming from a spoiled background of depending on hydro, and we always heard about the solar energy, about how to store energy, and we never paid attention to that until we fell into tragic power outages that were really, really tragic. And on a personal note, when I saw uh, investment in just a solar park at household level and the difference that it started making, when I saw solar parks being mounted on hospitals, on clinics, maternity wards, there are some hospitals in rural areas where it was becoming impossible to attend to our mothers. It was becoming impossible to do even basic operations, and we cannot keep the medicines because they have to be kept at a certain temperature. And so just deploying this alternative form of energy, solar energy at small scale, micro scale, it began to change our mindset. It became to change our perspectives. And for me, that point of inflection truly resonates that there is hope in this greening agenda. There is hope in finding other pathways. There is hope in storing energy which you can use at a different time.
Oh, lovely. I like that. And lastly, Doc, I just want us now to give you a moment where it's just blue sky thinking. What is your vision for Africa's power and energy market? If you had to just think, just dream, what is your vision?
Well, first and foremost, if you look at the satellite images of the African continent taken at night from
Mm,
the International Space Station, you can cry how dark
mm,
our continent looks.
mm,
640 million people plus still live without access to clean energy. Why? Why is it that Japan, a small island twice smaller than the size of Zambia, 3 times smaller than the size of South Africa, yet it has more installed electricity than the entire Africa continent put together?
mm,
It is an embarrassment. Why is it that Spain has got more installed energy than the entire Comesa region put together? Why is it that some airports in the US, in Europe, have got more installed electricity than some African countries?
mm,
An airport. Why is it that some industries, one customer uses electricity more than what is produced in that particular country? Even here in Zambia, you have some of the mining giants in South Africa. What they consume is more than three-quarters of Zambia's peak demand. So that explains why the continent has lagged behind in development, because we don't have energy security.
mm,
So my contribution, my sharing to the Africa we want, which resonates with the African Union agenda, the Africa we want, is to do all we can to ensure that we have a single African electricity market by
mm,
linking the 5 power pools, linking Southern Africa power pool to East African power pool to North African power pool to West African power pool and to the Central African power pool. Then
mm.
we are creating a single electricity Africa market, and we are able to move electricity around the continent. If we can achieve that, we are going to make significant progress in our electrification of the African continent and unlocking its massive potential.
Oh, no, no, no. I do like that a lot, Doc. And I think it will take just collaboration. Collaboration is key in all of this if we
Yeah.
want to achieve more and to develop as a continent.
Mhm. That's definitely when you look at the Southern Africa power pool, we are
Mm,
fairly interconnected. We are able to move electricity around. We are feeding
mm,
off ESCOM, we are feeding off Mozambique, and all we need is to develop more interconnectors. But also, we need to be thankful to the World Bank that currently is funding the Tanzania Zambia interconnector, which is going to
mm,
connect the Southern Africa power pool to the East African power pool. And the East
mm.
African power pool has got more energy than Southern Africa power pool. So that way we'll be able to enhance our energy security in these two regional blocks. And what is needed is just to ensure that the East African power pool is linked into North African power pool. Then we are making good progress.
Oh, thank you for enlightening us. We know that there is a lot of work that is being done behind the scenes. And, Doc, I think that brings us to the end of our conversation. Thank you again for the time you made for us to have this conversation. And I'd also like to thank our viewers for watching and just to encourage them to stay tuned for more episodes as we introduce them to our Ed Board members. And we are looking forward to seeing you later this month at the CNI Energy and Storage Summit. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.